So as predicted that Emerson Mnangagwa was essentially going to use today's functions of ZANU PF that are across Zimbabwe, conducted by the allies of Emerson Mnangagwa to spite retired General Chiwenga. These are activities that Emerson Mnangagwa is undertaking to actually mirror the days ahead. We know that some of the allies of Mnangagwa have exposed that in 2 weeks' time, such as the Minister of State Security yesterday, I did cover that particular story, that in 2 weeks' time they will be looking forward to begin the implementation of the extension of the term of office for Emerson Mnangagwa to 2030. We understand that Mnangagwa and Chiwenga had an agreement that he was going to lead the country for roughly about 5 years, and after 5 years he was going to hand over to retired General Chiwenga. There were a list of military generals who were supposed to benefit from that particular arrangement, but Mnangagwa, because of actually being drunk with power, he is now actually disregarding that agreement. In fact, what he is doing, he has changed all that. And the message that he is sending indirectly so to retired General Chiwenga is that the power of any leader in a political party should be derived from the cells. Let's listen to him actually addressing what he calls his cell.
Myself, that's no foundation of
Unfortunately, it's actually the poor sound from where I was, from the source where I was getting the message. But what was Mnangagwa saying? He was saying the members of the ZANU PF from the cells, that is the lowest structure of ZANU PF. They are the bosses of political party leaders and they should not be undermined because they are the ones who get to select who becomes a leader in ZANU PF. But we know that that is not the truth. Emerson Mnangagwa was not selected by the very same cells to be the president of Zimbabwe. In fact, if we are to use that, you would remember that in 2017, when Robert Gabriel Mugabe fired Emerson Mnangagwa, it was announced that all provinces in Zimbabwe had actually unanimously voted for the expulsion of Emerson Mnangagwa. But after a few weeks, the very same Emerson Mnangagwa was expelled by the very same cells, was imposed to the very same membership of ZANU PF that had unanimously voted for him to be fired from the party. So if we are to follow the precedent, especially that was used on Emerson Mnangagwa, not to run very far away, you will discover that ZANU PF supporters are very, very powerless beings. The person who is powerful in ZANU PF, it is the president. I mean, the cells do not elect any leader. It is the president in a conference who actually, in fact, it is said the conference goes to elect a president, but I've never seen the conference afforded an opportunity to choose the president of their choice. They just gather, there will be a president. That president would be pronounced as the leader without any electoral process. And then the very same president will begin to actually appoint ZANU PF leaders. It's never about the cells. The cells just go there, especially women, to twerk for the songs that would have been composed, most probably insulting the West and promoting the fast track land reform program, or insulting any activist whom actually at that point would be giving ZANU PF sleepless nights, or maybe a ZANU PF member who would be giving ZANU PF sleepless nights. So essentially, this day, I've never heard of this day in ZANU PF. I mean, I've been following the Zimbabwean politics ever since I started to know there is politics. I never heard of this day. This day is being done today, and I'm waiting to see whether retired General Chiwenga is also going to go to his cell and also hear the message that he will convey publicly. I'm sure he will also attend his cell, if ever there is a cell nearby where he is actually a member of that cell. But I'm reading the vibes even from the message that is being communicated by Emmerson Mnangagwa, that this day is meant to send a message to Chiwenga that it is only ZANU PF cells, not the deal that we once had secretly, that select leaders. But if ever that is going to be the new normal of ZANU PF, it would be actually the first thing to ever happen. So we will wait and see whether Emmerson Mnangagwa will succeed in terms of actually pushing his 2030 term extension up to the end. I already predicted that this will mark the downfall of Emmerson Mnangagwa. Let's watch if my prediction is true, especially the next coming month. Once they begin to introduce this 2030 bill extension, it will end in tears for Mnangagwa and his allies. Because this will actually call for an immediate action, especially for those who are against a 2030 term extension. We know that Chiwenga is against that. He has been loud and clear through the dossier. Actually, he came out so openly to Emmerson Mnangagwa that 2030 term extension is a no-go area. ZANU PF war veterans through Blessed Geza have also concurred that 2030 term extension would only be realized on the watch of Emmerson Mnangagwa, going to an extent of saying he is not even a crocodile, he is a lizard, especially in the world of war veterans. So these days, having heard these statements coming from people with a military background, warning a sitting president, these scenes have played out before, and this time around they are also playing out. People undermined war veterans when they were busy convening, telling Robert Gabriel Mugabe then that his time is up. They have done so for Emmerson Mnangagwa. Obviously, they continue to be undermined because this is what ZANU PF has been doing to the war veterans. It has been undermining them. I wonder why war veterans would support ZANU PF, because these are the people who fought for the country, but look at their standard of living. It is extremely poor. Do they deserve the houses that are built by Tungwarara for them? Obviously, they don't deserve this substandard called a presidential fund by Emerson Mnangagwa, rocked by corruption. That is why they have decided to stop it so far. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can do so by pressing the thanks button and send us and send us stars in the form of money. I was saying I'm seeing the balance is still zero on that video. I'm watching on whether it